Dear students, this channel is for practicing PTA modules every day. If you are struggling with PTA reading module, you can purchase a reading course, which may help you to ace your reading score. Contact us on 6367949840, 9588068207.
Democracy, where people make decisions for the country, is the only known form of governance in the world that promises to inculcate principles of equality, liberty, and justice. The deliberations and negotiations to form policies and make decisions for the country is the basis on which the government works, with supreme power to people to choose their representatives, delegate the country's matters, and express their dissent. The democratic system is usually of two types: the presidential system and the parliamentary system. In India, the three pillars of democracy, namely legislature, executive, and judiciary, working independently and still interconnected, along with a free press and media. India is among the top 100 nations contributing to single-use plastic waste generation. EarthDay.org published a report that said humans use around 1.2 million plastic bottles per minute and around 500 billion plastic cups yearly. Single-use plastics are not biodegradable. They are unsustainable and remain in the environment for hundreds of years. They do not decay and cannot be burned, as they release hazardous fumes and gases into the atmosphere. In due course, sun and heat slowly turn plastics into tiny pieces called microplastics, which will find their way into food sources and eventually enter the human body. Projects relating to transport and logistics infrastructure in the National Infrastructure Pipeline will be aligned with PM Gati Shakti framework, which was launched last year. The Prime Minister's Development Initiative for Northeast, PM Divine, will be implemented through the Northeastern Council to fund development projects in the Northeast region. Also, 1 lakh crore rupees is being allocated to states for catalyzing investments, in the form of 50-year interest-free loans. Non-tax revenue consists of interest receipts on loans given by the center, dividends and profits, external grants, and receipts from general economic and social services, among others. In 2022-23, non-tax revenue is expected to decrease by 14% over the revised estimates of 2021-22 to Rs 269,651 crore. This is due to a decline of 14% in interest receipts and a decline of 23% in dividend and profits. As Abraham Lincoln once said, democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. There is undeniably no doubt that the core of democracies lies in making people the ultimate decision makers. With time, the simple definition of democracy has evolved to include other principles like equality, political accountability, rights of the citizens, and to an extent, values of liberty and justice. Across the globe, representative democracies are widely prevalent. However, there is a major variation in how democracies are practiced. The major two types of representative democracy are presidential and parliamentary forms democracy. Moreover, Not all those who present themselves as a democratic republic follow its values. Many countries have legally deprived some communities to live with dignity and protect their liberty, or are practicing authoritarian rule through majoritarianism or populist leaders. Despite this, one of the things that are central and basic to all is the practice of elections and voting. However, even in such a case, the principles of universal adult franchise and the practice of free and fair elections are theoretically essential but very limited in practice for a democracy. Unlike several other nations, India is still, at least constitutionally and principally, a practitioner of an ideal democracy. With our three organs of the government, namely legislative, executive and judiciary, the constitutional rights to citizens, a multi-party system, laws to curb discrimination and spread the virtues of equality, protection to minorities and a space for people to discuss, debate and dissent, India has shown a commitment towards democratic values. In recent times, with challenges to freedom of speech, rights of minority groups and a conundrum between the protection of diversity and unification of the country, the debate about the preservation of democracy has become vital to public discussion. Mental health is an important factor for a successful life. People have different perspectives on the impacts it can have. It all depends on how sports is used and seen. Team sports bring many random people, who probably do not know each other, together by practicing and participating in team activities. You might get closer to some teammates, making a forever lasting friendship. You feel relaxed when you're with your friends, and when you're doing something that you enjoy doing.